chemical plant was started in 1897 by Herbert Henry Dow. He was a Canadian-born chemist, and he decided to go with Midland as the starting place for his company because Midland offered him the most out of everywhere else. It offered him a large amount of resources that he would use to create his products, and also cheap land because there wasn't very many people around the area, so there was lots of land up for grabs. Dow, since then, has decided to give back to the community since they drew from the community, and the community really provided them their start. They decided to give back to the community by not only having a public library, but they also have the public school system. But they've also just tried to beautify the town by creating Dow Gardens, which is a place where people can go and they can just check out the scenery and beautiful landscape, and it's actually a very common place for people to have weddings and also for people to have their prom pictures taken for free. It really shows the beauty of Midland, and Dow wants to give back to Midland because they have a past of destroying the environment. They have a past of dumping toxins into the Tittabawassee River. Dow has wanted to give back and get rid of that rep that they have being environmentally not friendly, and they want to get a rep of being environmentally friendly, and they've done this by buying large sections of land and not doing anything with this land, but just allowing the local wildlife like deer and squirrels and everything sort of as like a refuge to these areas. Also instituting more environmentally friendly technologies such as solar power throughout quite a bit of their properties and buildings and stuff. An example is the Dow Diamond, which is the baseball stadium that they created. They use solar power there. They have large solar panels that they specifically built so that they could produce electricity for that place, and then they wouldn't have to use the electric companies and stuff like that, which are more harmful to the environment. So they're trying to get rid of the rep that they had of destroying the environment. Dow is tremendous for the local economy because Dow employs so much of the local workers. But not only do they employ a large amount of the local workers, but they provide jobs for many more people. They provide jobs for all the hotels in Midland. There are over 10 hotels in Midland, and Midland has 30-some thousand people living in it, and there are over 10 hotels that stay in business, and that's because Dow brings in people from around the country and around the world to come to these meetings, and those people have to stay somewhere, so they get put in the local hotels, and it brings business to the local hotels, and also it brings business to the local restaurants. Dow also brought in a minor league team within the city, which not only brings entertainment to the residents of the city and the residents of the surrounding areas, but it also brings jobs because it provides jobs for teenagers and jobs for other people, so it's helping out the entire community. They've also, as I stated, they are giving back to the education system. They provide multiple programs for the local public schools. So they provide the AP program, they paid for that, and also they paid for, as I said, the International Baccalaureate program. The AP program is more known throughout the U.S., but the International Baccalaureate program is known throughout the world. So they're making the students from Midland be able to branch out to the world and be world leaders, not just the leaders of the U.S., but also world leaders and have an impact on the entire world. I interviewed a few local residents about how they felt about the plant being in Midland and also how they felt about what the plant has done for the city of Midland. And this is what they had to say. Do you associate many of the different buildings around Midland with the chemical plant, like the Dow Diamond and the high school and the library?
Yeah. When I moved to Midland, it kind of seemed like everything was centered around the chemical plant. Like everything had something to do with
Would you call the plant an eyesore, and would you say that it doesn't belong with the rest of the city, like how they're trying to make Midland beautiful by planting like the flowers along the streets and all that?
I think it's kind of a contradiction if they have this huge, like, building with smoke coming out. I don't think it really fits with the pretty aspect of Midland.
In your opinion, does Dow do a good job protecting the environment?
Well, I think they probably go by regulations, so I would guess I'd have to say yes on that. And since they, for the most part, like I say, or I should say the most part, they do go by the regulations, so it's not like it used to be. I remember when this is back a few years, back in 1985 or a little bit before that, when I would come visit Midland, that was when I was in high school, and I just remember the stench, but now you don't get the stench like you did when I was younger, when I'd come to visit Midland. So they have cleaned up their act.